The park is a great place for me it has been. It's been cold lately, but it has been in the past a great way for me to come out here and really just cultivate gratitude. Because really just being out in nature and seeing all the greenery, me personally, it reminds me of God. And it reminds me of how grateful I am to just be able to have a working body, a functioning body, y'all. But if I can keep it a whole being with you and keep it 100 and be completely honest with you, I'm not as grateful as I should be 100% of the time, if I'm honest with you guys. Yeah, I know I'm out here talking about gratitude, and I'm a person who is very intentional about the routine. Like I'm very routine. By the way, I think I got my discipline from the Navy. Right, I'm just used to being regimented. Right, so I'm a person who practices gratitude on a regular basis because I think the more you practice something, the more you make it a habit of doing something, it becomes easier. But if I'm completely honest with you, I'm not as grateful all the time as I should be, because it is easy to get into this mode of looking around and looking at what people have and where they are in their lives and comparing it to my situation. It's really easy for me to do that. That is why I have to be intentional about being grateful. So I am trying to figure out how to balance these two, because I really believe, you guys, that it is so important to have gratitude in your heart. But it is also important to keep moving forward in life. That is so important, because growth is not just something that affects you. It's also something that affects the people around you. One, it serves as an example for other people so that they move forward and not be stagnant. And two, when you move forward, the people that you love move forward too. Like if you have kids, they're gonna move forward as you move forward because they depend on you. So it's so important, right? Or maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you have brothers and sisters. Your example for them is gonna set the tone for their lives. So for some people, you are the ceiling for them. They're only gonna go as high as you go because that is the example that you set for them. Earlier, I mentioned something about a growth mindset, but I realized some of you guys might even know, y'all might not even know what that is, right? So I figured I would just explain what that is. Matter of fact, I got my phone right here and I'm gonna ask Chat GPT. Sometimes I'll be calling it GBT. Chat GPT, right? What is a growth mindset?
A growth mindset is essentially the belief that you can develop your abilities and intelligence over time through dedication, hard work, and learning. It focuses on improvement and resilience rather than seeing abilities as fixed traits. It's all about embracing challenges, learning from feedback, and putting in the effort to grow.
So really, it's about having a mindset that you can always grow and always improve, okay? And I feel like this is something that I've been thinking about for maybe like the last 5 years. It's been ingrained in my mind. But I don't think that it was something that I was just introduced to. I think my first introduction to this was seeing the example of my mom in my household. So when I was young and I was almost 11 years old, my mom and the rest of the kids, all of us, we moved from the Bay Area. Let me let this plane go by real quick. Yeah, we relocated from the Bay Area to LA County. And I just remember from that point, it was constant relocating and moving. I always had to get used to being in a new environment. So we moved from the Bay to Inglewood, and then from Inglewood to Compton, and from Compton near Dorsey High School, and then from there back to Inglewood. That's what it was like for me. Now, I don't remember asking my mom this question, but she reminded me of this. She told me that I had asked her if we were on the run. I don't remember asking her that, but I definitely remember feeling like that because we were always switching environments. It's like we would never stay somewhere long enough for me to get used to it. And I don't know if you can imagine what that's like, but I'm telling you, always being a new kid in a new school, having to get used to a new environment was not easy, y'all. It was always hard. And whenever I felt like I would get into a groove and get to start talking to people and getting used to them, and then my personality would shine and people started taking a like to me, we always had to move. Again, that was not easy dealing with that as a kid. And I didn't really understand why we had to move so much. I never understood that. Well, not until I got older. Then I started getting out to the world and I had my own ambitions and I had my own goals. That's when I understood it. That's when I had that hindsight 2020 vision. And I would remember walking around the house. My mom used to write her goals down on pieces of paper. She always had a list of things to do around the house, and I would always find them. And I have vivid memories of finding my mom's to-do list. My mom never settled, and she was never satisfied with just living a certain place. I mean, I literally saw us go from living in the hood to multiple places to my mom having a house built in Palmdale, California. It was a big house. It's the biggest house that we've ever lived in. I saw how my mom's discontentment literally moved us forward. It moved her into action. We benefited from her action. So I've seen a range of things. I've seen the hood and I've seen the suburbs. It's because my mom worked so much because she had what I call, I'm gonna coin this phrase, she had a productive discontentment. She was not satisfied with where we were at. So she moved forward, did things to move us forward. That was for our benefit. And that set the standard for me. So which one is it though, right? Is it gratitude? Is it contentment? Or is it productive discontentment? Is it having a growth mindset? Is it moving forward? Y'all see where that tension is? Like the need to be grateful for everything we have, but also needing to grow and move forward and use everything you have to move forward, not just for your benefit, but for other people's benefit as well. Which one is it? That's the tension for me. Look, y'all, sometimes we can get into this mindset of being like fixed and things being like black or white, okay? This or that, black and white. And life is way more nuanced than just black or white. We have to have the ability to deal with two truths at the same time. So my conclusion is this: you need gratitude in your life to stay grounded. You need it for your own sanity, and you need it for proper perspective, right? You need that. But you also need to keep moving forward. You have to deal with both of these things being true, because they are for me. These things are key parts of who I am as a person. And so I'm not going to leave one for the other. It's a whole lot more nuanced than that. We have to learn to deal with nuance. And for me, in my case, I'm gonna deal with that. And I'm gonna deal with both things and learn how to balance both of them. Man, if you experience that tension, just know this, man. It's very human to feel that way. You're not crazy. And maybe I'm talking to myself as I'm encouraging you, but I know I'm not the only one, right? I know that as people, we want better for ourselves, and it can be easy to compare ourselves to other people and get discouraged because we aren't where other people are, or maybe it's just a reminder that we aren't where we want to be. You're not the only one going through it. Shoot, I'm sitting here talking about how I deal with that, you know? But just be encouraged, man. Keep moving forward, but also be intentional about being grateful, right? Because you really are blessed, and really it's about having proper perspective, okay? It's like, yeah, we may not be where we want to be, but we are extremely blessed. And I think you and I both will realize that if we really take stock of what we have, and, you know, we realize that we have working bodies that we breathe in today, and we have family members that love us, and we have friends, and we are part of communities that we care about and that we have the privilege of contributing to, you know? We really are. So we got to exist for both, being grateful, but also continuing to move forth. It's both of them and not just this or that. It's not that black and white. It's more now. It's more nuanced than that. All right, man, let me get up out of here. Hey, but do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comments. Engagement is always welcome. But until next time, all right, y'all. Peace.